I don't think Ray is entirely wrong, and I don't think Mike that you're also entirely wrong either. Um, from my standpoint, right, just based off of what I've been hearing, I think I think both of y'all have to be open to the fact that you know things have a way of being able to correct themselves
Mm-hmm.
without other people like you know what I'm saying, like intervening, if that
Mm.
makes any sense. It's almost like and the beauty about like human nature is that there's a medium that nobody can really pick out precisely that's going to automatically correct when an issue has been stemming, for maybe a 10-year, 15-year time frame. So that's kind of how I see that based off of what y'all were talking about. Even going back to when you started mentioning Salt Lake. I've been up there numerous times, and even me being black, and I'm telling you, like Ray is 100%, you know what I'm saying, accurate on that. And like even me, by being as dark as I am, I fit a certain stereotype, like the white people up there, and I'm cool all you with, but I can see it on them. Like they're not slightly awkward, but they're just like, oh shit, a black guy with dreads, he doesn't fit the Salt Lake norm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a certain way of how they oh, excuse me, they have a certain way of how they do things, how they operate, that all fits within the confines of how the United States work. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different than what you may see in Fort Wayne, Indiana, to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to Los Angeles, to New York, to Baltimore, Jacksonville, Florida. Like like the commerce and the working like like the whole working system is pretty much like the same stereotype, regardless wherever you go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Now I don't know where the argument comes into play. What about leftists and then righters, and then are we just going to deviate away from doing things? You know what I'm saying, of how we have always worked. Excuse me. For the past 30, 40, 60 years. The only difference from what I can see that of how we operate now versus 30 to 40 years ago is the fact that, bro, like technology has now been integrated in our everyday life more
Mm-hmm.
so than ever. That's it. You still get up every morning, you smoke a cigarette, you jog, you still exercise the same, you put your pants on the same. You know what I'm saying? You go to a restaurant, you still drive on the same roads. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like certain things are going to always remain the same. The nuances of what I think that y'all are talking about is going to be like it's going to be like from an individual standpoint of how people are going to say, well, okay, well, instead of me doing it the way my grandfather did, I'm going to do it slightly different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But there's a lot of constants. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of constant things that are never going to change. Like honestly, but
I like
I
that
Yeah.
answer. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it. My thing is, when I look at the way that things have gone back and forth with like the left right conversation, like I don't believe in teams, period. But what I will say is, like people of like mind, a lot of the time, the loudest speakers are also not necessarily in Mike's position. They don't own things. Like they don't. They're like, I want to do this and this and this, and it's like, okay, but like what are you building? Like it almost seems
He's actively referring to me right now as he's speaking.
no. I'm just saying.
but you know what though? But you know what though, right? Like you're speaking on a rerun,
Yeah.
bro. And look. I want everybody to hear me right. The conversations have never changed.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same. Like yo, I remember when my uncle, and my uncle and my dad used to always tell me, son, the stuff you doing out here ain't nothing new. This is all, you know what I'm saying? You know, I rerunning it. It's the same shit, bro. Like when you go back to the 60s, there were middle class and underclass black folks saying, well, you know, man, the white man, he got this and that. They own this and that. Wall Street is predominantly white. You know what I'm saying? It's this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be people who don't have shit. And in my argument, people who don't deserve shit. Like the old adage, like the old adage always goes to, right? And I always, you know, even when me and Ray, like me and you that had the same combo, bro. Like, you know, if you start over and you put all the money and you divide everything equally, bro, it's still going to end up the same way it is now. It's an imperfect, perfect system. It works because it works. And you know why it works, Mike? And Ray and everybody else, you know why it works? Is the fact that the nuance is I can't measure my will against yours.
Right.
You know, and maybe I was wrong by saying right, left, or conservative, and this and that. The problem is right now our values are different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right now. I always push for a unified America on something we can fight together, although we don't agree upon a lot. But right now, it's a separation because we have a different set of values of what we want. See, a lot of the left and a lot of the people on the left who don't even know what the hell they are. They were indoctrinated to believe certain things and taught to believe certain things. And that's the thing that has to be bred out of society. And I understand what you're saying, though, that everything's the same. It's a repeating cycle, you know, from generation to generation over the years. We do things the same. But in order to restructure a society that's going to work for everybody, the left ain't going to have nothing to do with it.
It can. But see, look, but see, the premise of your very argument is already flawed. Like it works because when you say a unified United States, right? Like just take that phrase. Like the unity is the nuance. It's only unified because people are only going to side with you based upon y'all sharing the same viewpoints and the same ideologies. Like me and Ray click because we have the same ideologies. We're not exactly the same, but we agree on more than the things that we don't agree on. You know what I'm saying? So like in my mind, like I'm more unified with him and the people that share his same, you know, viewpoints. It's no different than you playing on a basketball team, on the football team, on the soccer team. The team only wins when there's a commonality of everybody on the team saying we're going to work as a unit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like, and you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to Wall Street. You can apply that to having a YouTube channel. You can apply that to having a trucking, you know what I'm saying, you know, business. You can apply that with real estate, all kinds of like commerce. The game.
Well, I get what you're saying, but if you go back to the beginning of the show when Ray was talking about the Constitution, the Constitution works. And